Hey friends. So I this reading was for Aquarius initially, but as I continue to read, I feel that this is for whomever is needing it. I've already done the reading. I'm actually coming back just to make a disclaimer in this reading before you proceed on with it if you choose to watch it. This reading is dealing with passing, death, situations, end of life care, end of life situations. And it does carry some of my beliefs in it, but I'm not trying to force anything down anybody's throat. I'm not trying to tell you how things are. I'm just giving my own perspective. And I hope it's helpful to somebody, but I want to say that, I want to say that before anything. And I feel that it's important to put out. I was very, very worried and concerned to put this out because this isn't topics that I want to talk about, but there's something here that is being very, it's pushing me to do that. And so if this is meant to be for you, I hope it is to meet your ears, and I hope it is helpful to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and proceed into the reading then. And yeah, I wish you goodness, I wish you love, and um, light in your life, okay? So you guys take care and we'll talk soon. Hey there, Aquarius. I hope you guys are doing really good. I haven't been on this channel for a bit. I still have to have surgery, but I do want to go ahead and do a reading for you right now. I feel a lot better. A friend of mine gave me a product that has significantly decreased my pain and inflammation. So I'm here to read for you today. And I had started doing your reading and I stopped because I was unsure if I wanted to put this information out because I'm not, I'm not trying to freak people out. But then looking at it, I just feel it's probably good for whomever is going through this. Not everybody is going to be going through this, but there's a lot of energy in this reading, and this is just a general reading. I'm going to do couples and singles, and I may do another general for you guys. I don't know. This may just be a bonus, actually. I still had to figure out how I want to go about that, but this particular energy that's coming up here is for somebody that is likely dealing with a loved one that may be passing or convalescing and passing, end of life stages. There may be some sort of having to let go of a loved one, a partner, somebody that you're close to. Could even be a pet. This is general energy, this is spirit message. This should be finances, communications coming in, and then love energy. But what we've got here, the first card out was death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. Bottom of the deck for that was change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. For this energy, I almost feel as if like somebody, it's kind of why I'm feeling like, are we dealing with somebody in like palliative care or end of life stages, like where we're no longer wanting to eat or receive treatment, or perhaps their body is just very tired and they're wanting to let go. That's coming through a lot. And so they're kind of wanting to push things away when opportunities to try and prolong life. It's like a person can become tired and they just want to go, and that's fair. And I guess the message to this, and I guess I'm going to say this for everybody, I don't know, is it's okay, when we try to, force that on people, when we try to make somebody try to pursue, try to push on, even if their body is frail and uncomfortable or whatever their circumstances, allow that person to make their own decision. Try not to burden them with guilt, try not to make it about you. A lot of people have a very difficult time letting go in life when it comes to death. For some reason, so many of us have thought that this life is to be permanent. There's some sense of permanence here where there's really not permanence. We're born to pass away. This extreme education that we get during the interim is wonderful, and it's for our spirit growth and soul growth, but we're not meant to stay here. You can't take anything with you. Your legacy is what you leave on to others, and hopefully it's one of love and of kindness, but I feel here that somebody is going to need to deal with this kind of energy. And I feel also, too, like, say, in hospital situations, you may have a lot of family members with the Five of Wands here. This is also the death card. Death, death, orphaned. Why? Stay optimistic about your love life, you know. I think it's just stay optimistic in this regard. But in this energy, I feel like maybe there's going to be a lot of people putting their 2 cents in, trying to be right about something, you know. That can happen when families collide about end of life care, perhaps for a parent or for a sibling or whomever, you know. And I just feel like it's important to be present for that person in the time that they have and in the capacity that they choose to remain. And it's really important that we not make them feel guilty, you know. And there is always a period of grieving when somebody passes, but what I'm feeling is that it's important to not, I don't want to tell you how to be, but if I can help you maybe realize or understand or come to an acceptance that we have to go, you know. And I feel that there's somebody that is going to remain very wounded or very upset about this and almost personalize it. And I feel like it's important to mention that you don't necessarily need to do that. When somebody passes, you know, and in the time before they do, flood them with love, cover them in love, cover them in holy light, cover them in energy, whatever you believe in, God, Jesus, angels, Buddha, whatever it is. Ask that energy to be present for them at all times, you know. Give of yourself, give of your light, you know, make sure that your vibration is of a higher vibration. Try not to come in towards that person with such sadness that it brings them down. You know, we want this transition to be smooth. And again, I feel very uncomfortable talking about any of this because I'm not trying to tell you how to experience death or the passing of someone, but I guess I'm just more concerned about how you experience it and also how the person experiencing that passing is allowed to pass, you know. I've heard from another person who I care about they're a reader, but I care about their opinions on things. And one thing that they said, her name is Your Angelic Karma. I used to watch her on YouTube for a while, and then, you know, her videos kind of got a little bit, they changed priorities, and so she's off on different channels and stuff like that. But one thing that she mentioned was when we grieve so hard, we have that spirit connection with that person, but it can be hard for that energy to, you know, move off and go towards where it needs to go. It's like our sadness, our holding on to the energy can almost kind of entrap that spirit energy, you know, and keep it from moving forward as soon as it needs to, or as it needs to. And it makes me think about ghosts on this planet. You know, there are many homes, as many of you live in homes that have ghosts and spirit energy. I do. What keeps these energies here? What keeps them trapped? What keeps them manifested in this realm? Because it feels like that needs to go. You know, I have done house clearings with a group of people that I used to connect with. I've done spirit clearing energy when our home actually was, even, this is years ago in Seattle, but it had a lot of stuff going on in it, and I was able to close that up with a dear friend of mine. And so it's I don't know how they get trapped here. I don't know why the spirit realm allows these energies to stay and manifest and present themselves over periods of decades or however long they are here, but and why they don't cross over, why they remain stuck in this energetic sludgy field. But I wonder if it has anything to do with the imprint of the people that are there for them, or perhaps their own personal imprint, perhaps the way that they pass, perhaps the shock, or the, you know, suddenly are gone, and you unexpectedly suddenly are gone. And I don't know how that works. I just know that there are energies that remain and they are present. So I guess what I'm saying is, do what you can to help any passing be as smooth as possible. Help them not feel guilty about leaving. Help them to, you know, raise their spirit, raise their consciousness, raise yours. You know, funerals are very interesting because there's so much sorrow and sadness that are involved with it. And like, if we trust that we're literally here to expire, everything has an expiration date. It doesn't deny what you're going through. It doesn't diminish the experience that you're going through, but it can help things move in a different way. It can help raise the vibration. You know, celebrate that person's life, celebrate that energy, celebrate the experience that they've had here and what they've contributed. You know, make it a happy celebration if you can. There's so many situations where there's just so much heaviness being connected to anything anymore, and it's hard. And here we have orphaned, and I feel that sadness. I feel like I'm at a funeral. I feel like this is heavy energy, and like I said, I wasn't going to put this up, but I feel like I need to talk about this for whomever. And we have why that came out underneath it, you know. And it is just the passing. It is just passing of life, you know. It's important to not make it more than what it is, or attach so much, you know, energy to it that you can't get past it. Please remember that life is a progression, and we pass, and that is how it has been from day one, since human beings have walked this earth, since animals have been here, since plants have been alive. Everything has an expiration. And I'm sorry that the universe, I'm sorry that, I'm not sorry about the universe, I'm sorry that, you know, our belief systems and society and imagery and, you know, tradition has made us think that we are everlasting and that our body is going to continue on forever. And it's just not. It can't. But what an interesting experience when you're able to actually pass through that energy and become more, or become a helper on that side. You know, perhaps they become a helper and they come and aid you again. Perhaps that energy manifests to a higher experience. Perhaps they're on a completely different psychic wavelength or an angelic wavelength. You know, it's a beautiful transition. You know, I've heard what's her name, Dolores Cannon is also another person that I do enjoy listening to for some of her stuff, her information. She explains it as, when you die, it's almost like getting up from one chair and moving to another. There's not really much else, you know. When you die, a lot of nurses in hospitals communicate that convey that when people are passing, all of a sudden they start to see their family members, their old deceased relatives and friends, you know. And what that I believe and what I've heard, it makes sense, is that it's like the veil thinning. This earth veil is thinning. You're entering into the spirit realm, and those energies can come and be with you and escort you there. Everybody has their own belief and perspective on life and death, and I can only share mine. And I'm sure this video may get a lot of hate on it, and that's okay. But I feel it's necessary to talk about this just in this video. So let's go ahead and get a few cards on this if we want. Can you show me for death, please? So we have the King of Swords and we have the Sun coming out here. You know, the King of Swords can talk about surgical procedures, surgeons, doctors, lawyers, and stuff of that nature. It can also talk about air sign energy, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini energy. It can talk about people who can become very disassociated from their emotions and become very cold and empty sometimes. They can distance themselves from people, you know, and in those situations where death is inevitable, if sure, distance yourself if you need to, but don't hold grudge against anything. Don't shut off completely. Try not to let it completely wipe you of your emotional state, and keep you there. That's not healthy. That's not good for you. You have the sun coming out as well, which is about positivity. It's the most positive card in the deck, actually. It's illumination. It's transformation. What happens with the sun? You know, things that are buried grow. You know, new things come through. New awareness, new states of life and consciousness come through with the sun. So it's not a bad thing. But if somebody is dealing with a perspective like that, where they're disconnected and shut down from anything, it's asking you to be more aware that new things are happening, good things are happening, and try not to be so sad and depressed and down, you know, for extended periods of time. I'm talking like years, you know, and I can't express to you how you're supposed to feel when somebody that you love passes, but that is that. Show me the Four of Cups here. So you have the Two of Pentacles and you have the Nine of Wands. Again, I'm kind of getting this energy, and this isn't going to be for every single person, but whomever this is particularly for, I'm getting an energy where you may have tried to have as many opportunities or try as many therapies or alternatives to whatever it is that this person may be going through, and you may try to be continuing to juggle even more. But with the Nine of Wands, it's almost as if now we have to kind of protect that energy, protect ourselves from it. There's a point where we can start to impose too much on a person, and we mean the best of intention to a person, but we can impose our will or our desires, you know, and it's terrible. I mean, I'm not saying you're terrible, but that can be very, very uncomfortable for a person experiencing, you know, end of life stages. And even if it's meant within all of the love in the world, you know, sometimes too many things are too many things. And if this person is communicating that they're not interested in pursuing anything else, then that's okay. Okay? I guess I'm here to tell you that it's okay. I guess that's the whole crux of, or essence of this reading. Show me Death and the Five of Wands. So you have Judgment and the Six of Swords, and then Death again at the bottom of the deck. So Death is presented in this reading 3 times. I feel, again, this is important to talk about. Here, the Six of Swords is definitely talking about letting go, moving on to an easier time, even if you have people judging you or your decisions to honor what this person is wanting, or if you have to pull the plug on somebody and, you know, disconnect life support. This is also a very huge decision, you know, but you know in your heart of hearts what is most important in this situation. You know how to go about this. And even if you're having a very difficult time, I feel like if you connect with yourself and spirit energy and ask for guidance in that regard, and that is the decision that has come through, that may be what you need to do. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not telling you to pull the plug on anybody, you know, but it just feels like that energy is kind of becoming a little bit heavier in this reading. With, again, the Five of Wands, we have this conflict, and so I feel like broken parties, people who have difference in opinion when it comes to this kind of stuff, and we may catch a lot of flack for it. We may have to experience a lot of judgment here, but overall, it's to help ease pain. It's to help lessen this experience, so it's no longer so daunting and pervasive, especially for the person experiencing things. And again, at the bottom of the deck, you know, this is about transformation, letting things go. You know, Ace of Swords, this can talk about surgical stuff again, but it can talk about having clarity of mind when it comes to decision making, having clarity of mind. And perhaps this King of Swords is here to ask us to have clarity within our mind, to not become so emotionally enwrapped and ensnared, to see the reality of the situation versus being ruled by our emotions. Stay optimistic about your love life. I think it's stay optimistic about life. Yeah, so you have the Ace of Cups coming through here with Temperance at the bottom of the deck. This is about balance and healing, you guys, okay? This is about getting a new energetic healing with this energy. You know, it's hard to feel when we have somebody passing. I know that for sure, for certain. But if you can do that, if you can heal, if you can raise your vibration, stay optimistic about your situation, you know, it will help. It will help in numerous ways with all that you are, all of the people that you're connected to, with the person that is, you know, dealing with this the most, with yourself. You can help to raise that vibration so things can run smoother, so that it's not this vacuous darkness that so many people experience in times of passing. You show me Orphaned. So you have 3-4 cards popping out. You have Ten of Swords, and you have the Seven of Pentacles. I'm going to read these in a second. I feel with the Ten of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles, I feel that somebody is feeling very guilty about potentially like how to serve this person better, or how to serve the situation better. Again, that Seven of Pentacles can often talk about a situation that requires us to assess a situation, you know, and while the Ten of Swords can talk about being stabbed in the back and doing, you know, harsh things, it can also feel like we're doing that. It can feel like we've experienced that. For some of you, the person in question that may be, you know, entering into a new spiritual existence, you know, passing, perhaps there is pain that they've caused you in this life. Perhaps there are the Ten of Swords that this person has caused you, you know, and maybe the Seven of Pentacles is requiring you to find some healing in regard to that, you know, even if your questions aren't answered, even if you don't know why they treated you in that way, you know, there's some sort of karmic energy that is connected to you and that person, you know, and I almost don't want to get into that, because I personally believe that when we come into this human experience, I believe, these are my beliefs, you don't have to believe it, I believe that we connect with certain people for specific reasons, you know. I believe that we are connecting with these experiences for specific reasons because they are to help us raise our vibration. They're to help us clear karma. They're to help us experience a new light in our life and release what is to be let go of. And, you know, this may be an opportunity to attempt to find peace within yourself if you've had a very difficult time with somebody that is leaving, especially if they're unable to communicate their side of things to you, you know, or if they choose to not. Okay, and then these two. So we have the Five of Pentacles and we have the Queen of Wands. So fire sign energy, Leo, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. With the Five of Pentacles, it's a card of lack. It's a card of sometimes sadness, sometimes feeling like you're left out in the cold. And, you know, if that term, being left out in the cold, resonates, it does resonate here. And it's for why, you know. Things pass, people pass. It is that. It is what it is, you know. It is important that we not allow things to completely take us over, though. We have to be able to grieve and find solace and, you know, be okay with that and move forward if possible. The Queen of Wands is, you know, aside from a fire sign, it's somebody that very much lives within their vitality. They're a very vital person. And I think sometimes it's important to recognize when people pass, you know, maybe we can look at our own mortality. Maybe we can see where we're not living up to our own potential, where we're not available to, or where we haven't been available to see beyond, our own personal limitations. Are we constantly sitting on the couch and watching Jerry Springer or whatever it is? I mean, I use that, Jerry Springer, that's not what I mean, but like wasting our time, not living up to our potential, not feeling like we want to work on our body, but we don't, feeling like we want to do new things in our life, but we don't, whether that be through fear, whether it be through whatever it is. There's an energy here where we need to be able to step into our vitality. And if this person exiting is a reminder to experience life at a greater level, then so be it, and don't feel guilty that came through somebody having to pass for you to address certain things in your life. Perhaps that's part of their karmic adventure in regard to you, how they help you grow. There's so many things in regard to that we can't control. So this reading was for Aquarius, but I'm going to say that it's for everybody, because I don't know who is dealing with this, and I'm likely going to catch a lot of flack for this video, I feel. But so be it. I just feel it's important to mention here. And God, I feel really fucking nervous. Yeah, I do feel really nervous about uploading this, but so be it. I'm going to go ahead and pull a crystal oracle for you guys. Show me for whomever this is for. Nirvana Quartz. So let's go ahead and read Nirvana Quartz here for you guys. Nirvana Quartz, Enlightenment. Nirvana Quartz assists in stepping off of the karmic wheel, bringing light and bliss consciousness. Self-understanding. For many lifetimes you have been working with your karma. That is now past. This is kind of what I'm feeling here, you guys. There is no need for restitution, nor punishment or guilt. Let those go so that you recognize your full potential, receiving a download of cosmic light that transforms your being. Divination. Step off the karmic round and allow the karma of grace to manifest. Open and receive enlightenment. Recognize this as a new beginning and fresh energy. If you are experiencing traumatic times and soul challenges, relax and wait for resolution. Do not push against the river. Go with the flow. Healing insight. Karma is created in each moment by every thought and deed. Uplifting thoughts and positive actions ensure your future well-being. Frequency is exceptionally high. Chakra is the highest crown. Timing is Pisces. Soul path embodying enlightenment on earth. Enlightenment on earth. For many lifetimes you have been working with your karma that has now passed. Okay, so I hope that this is helpful. Change here at the bottom of the deck. I hope that this is helpful for whomever it's meant to be for. It's not just for Aquarius, but yeah, I hope that this is helpful for whomever it's for, okay? And my heart is with you, and I love you, and I want good things in your life, and I want you to resonate at a healthy level and not be burdened with sadness and regret. I want to cry right now. Not be burdened with sadness and regret, and allow yourself to experience new things, because that is what life is for. That is what these experiences are for. So if you're able to do that and step into that energy, please do so, because it's part of the experience here, okay, you guys? I'll talk to you later. Bye. Bye-bye.